You are about to hear the stories of the extraordinary people who have inspired this artwork. The Symphony of the Game Changers celebrates the achievements of some remarkable people who have used National Lottery funding to have a transformative impact on UK arts and film. They were all interviewed while wearing cognitive headsets to record their alpha, beta, delta, gamma and theta brainwaves and heart rate. Using AI, that data was transformed into the ever-changing projection playing out before you now.
My name's Gurinder Chadha. I am a writer, director, producer of British films. My whole reason for coming into cinema and to be a director was to tell stories about people that look like me and tell stories about people like my parents and my cousins and my friends and my community. This view of the world, which is very rarely seen. I worked on a script for 3 years. I knew this film would hit the zeitgeist. I knew this was a kind of Britain that hadn't been seen and would work with an audience. And that was Bend It Like Beckham. That film would not have been made had it not been for National Lottery finance. I mean, the rest is history. I knew the film was special, but I did not realize just how big it was going to be. And the impact of it still now. The entire US champion soccer team and the British Euro champions have all said they got into football after watching Bend It Like Beckham. So it has changed the game in an incredible way.
You'll now hear an interpretation into spoken English of an interview given in British Sign Language by Nikki Stratton and Marilyn Wilrich, co-founders of DeafFest. Deaf clubs and deaf schools are closing down. Where are the role models for deaf children? DeafFest is one of the key places for them to find role models. It's the most important reason for DeafFest to continue to thrive. Over the years, our work has provided role models and encouraged deaf children in mainstream education to go to DeafFest, join workshops. Isn't that important?
DeafFest was set up back in 2006. The aim was for it to be a local event and potentially have some visitors from across the UK. Over the years, it kept growing until it became attended by people all over the world. Many deaf people have had artistic talent within themselves, whether that be an interest in film, television, acting, art, exhibitions, etc. There have been barriers and frustration for a long time. This continued until they finally found accessibility through our festival. It's an open platform for people to take in film, the arts, and a variety of performances. It's their festival. It's a place for them to go and feel relaxed whilst engaging with their community in their language. Without DeafFest, most of them would have had difficulty with getting their careers off the ground, especially in terms of how to start. DeafFest is the home of film, TV, and arts for the deaf community.
Where are all the gay superheroes? They exist in comics, but when it comes to those stories being transferred onto the screen, they're kind of there sometimes, but we're also aware of, the gay elements being edited out. Well, I'm Berwyn Rowlands, and I work for the Iris Prize. The Iris Prize is an organisation which champions diversity, specifically within the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer community. And we do it almost exclusively through film. I am constantly asked by the media, because the mainstream is giving space to diversity, do you actually really need something like Iris? Well, the answer to that question is yes, you do. Because, there are lots of stories about, the gay existence, which is not making it. Ma cael fy nghydnabod fel game changer yn anrhydedd, ond mae o'n anrhydedd dwi'n hapus i'w dderbyn oherwydd dwi'n rhannu'r anrhydedd hynny hefo pawb dwi wedi gweithio hefo nhw dros y blynyddoedd.
My name is Mark Brew. I'm a disabled artistic director, choreographer, and performer. So I trained professionally as a classical ballet dancer and contemporary dancer. And I was about to do my first job, and a drunk driver had driven down the off-ramp of the motorway and hit the car that I was in with 3 other friends. Unfortunately, my 3 friends were killed, and I acquired a spinal cord injury at C6, C7 in my neck, and was originally paralyzed from the chest down. And then I had my family sort of saying to me and friends, well, what are you going to do now? And maybe you need to go back to university and retrain to do something else. And I thought, oh, I don't know what else I want to do. I realized that dance was about being able to express myself through my body. And I could still do that. It was just differently now. I want to move people, and it's through my art and the support of the National Lottery that I get the opportunity to do that. And how lucky am I to be able to do what I love to do every day?
I come from a pretty humble background. You had to walk a long way from our street to find a tree. So I didn't really see much landscape when I was younger. My name is Peter Murray. I was the founding director of the Yorkshire Sculpture Park. Basically, what we try to do is we try to make art and the landscape accessible to the public. We've brought international artists from all over the world to work here, and we've developed a massive education program for children and students. The National Lottery transformed the whole funding of the arts in this country, and we benefited enormously from it. We managed to create this wonderful space for the public to wander through, to enjoy the landscape, to enjoy the art. And that, to me, was transformative.
I'm Nandi Jola. I'm based in Belfast, and I came to Belfast in 2021 because I'm a writer. When I was growing up in South Africa, books were burned. That was my seed planted. I kind of wanted to tell the story of immigration, borders, home, identity, and belonging. When I came to Northern Ireland, I didn't realize how difficult it was going to be to get into a country that I didn't know and trying to make my mark. The way the National Lottery has impacted me is that I was transitioning from an immigrant mindset to just wanting to be a writer. Without the funding, then I had to work. And for me then to get into the writing spaces, I had to get support. And that's the first support that I got. I'm looking for stories that are authentic, and therefore I always try and pay tribute to how I tell the stories of pain, stories of challenges, stories of sometimes not feeling at home, but that lottery funding makes me explain what it's like to really be from another place and trying to make this place home.
There's so many young people out there who are so talented, at the same time having a really bad time at school or failing in education or getting in trouble with the police. If what we do here is a way for those people to be top of their tree instead of bottom of the class, they're going to have better outcomes in life. My name's Adam Julia. I'm the CEO at Audio Active. We're trying to create a scene, the music scene here. People see that and go, I want to be part of that, and I can use Audio Active. There's a lot of young people who haven't really got anywhere to go or anything to do, and we are meeting some of that need here. It's an existential thing. I'm not sure that Audio Active or projects like us would actually still be here. The landscape would be very different if it wasn't for the National Lottery.
The National Lottery raises £30 million a week to good causes across arts and film, sport, heritage and conservation, and in communities throughout the UK. Thanks to game changers like those we are celebrating tonight, that money has been changing lives every day for the last 30 years and counting.